In this video, I'll demonstrate how to create requests and receive responses from the EDS API. Before our API will respond to your application needs to authenticate. This can be done in one of two ways, either using a user ID and password and receiving an authentication token to use with every subsequent call, or your application can live on a server that's within the IP ranges specified in EBSCO admin. I'll give an example of this. Here I've got a request to the create session method of our API. This method creates a session for an individual end user of your application. If I were to run this now, go ahead and hit refresh to run this application, you'll notice that the API responds with an error message saying invalid IP. That's because the IP address of this particular server is not registered in EBSCO admin. This is EBSCO admin. Here I can add an IP address if the server that I'm running my application on isn't already here. I'll go ahead and add an IP address, plug in my IP, and hit submit. It's a good idea to go to Customize Services and View Changes on EBSCO to force the changes to take effect immediately. Once this is done, I'm going to try this application one more time. I'll hit refresh. And you'll notice now that the API responds with a session token. This session token should be stored somewhere either in the browser as a cookie or in a session variable on the server side. This session token will be required for every subsequent call made to the API for this particular end user. If your application does not live on a server within the IP range, and you're unable to list those IP ranges in EBSCO admin, you can use the user ID authentication method. That will be described in another video.